enemies at once, putting him under incredible strain. His personal shield suddenly winks out. The Master Artificer is now vulnerable fools.
So be it. Let's see if you're faster than feet. Too bad I can't corrupt you as I did the Archives. Very well. I will deal with you myself. You pick up the Codex page the Devils were using to transform the Archons into...
Hi everyone, Aldbar here, and welcome to my live stream. Here you can ask your DDO questions, ask for DDO demonstrations, and ask for DDO advice. So please be my guest on my show, Ask Aldbar DDO Live. Enjoy! Well, it's been more than a week since last time I've streamed. I've been sick this whole time. Mainly I've been sick with a lot of coughing, and it made it very hard to stream, so let's hope I don't cough too much this stream. Yeah, so what we got over here is this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Axe will be running raids on Orion. So I took my main character and I quickly TR'd him into a character that would be better for raids. So now I've got to quickly level him back up to, well, as high as I can go. And on the way, flag for all the raids. So that's what our goal is, so. It's me running around flagging and, yeah, leveling up. So I think I'm going to do, I have got a few more quests to finish the Heroic Vecna chain. If I finish that, I mean, right now I'm a bit over level, so I'm not going to get a lot of XP from the quests. But at least I'll have the saga completion. And then I'll move back on to flagging for Vaughn, so. That is the plan right now. Technically, all I need to do is 3 more. I can pay shards to skip one of them and skip another one with the free VIP pass. Whoops, that was close. Heroic Elite. Yeah, this is part of the second quest chain, storyline quest chain of Vecna. Vecna Unleashed. I'm just getting these hirelings out as insurance policy. I don't really need them.
A figure in a familiar hat stands next to a nondescript door. He gestures for you to join him. The traveler requests that you speak to Lady Ilmero's assistant, while they speak to Lady Ilmero in private. The assistant tells you that you may join Lady Ilmero in the office. As you enter the office, you see the traveler having a conversation with a shadowy form. This must be Lady Ilmarrow. She glares at you as you approach. The unexpected sound of shouts comes from the room you were just in. Intruders! To your amazement, Lady Ilmarrow emits a burst of deadly magic that cuts down the intruders. Her shape changes. How dare they enter here? How dare they make demands of me? Let this be a warning to all who follow this insolent new god. This is no ordinary elf woman. This is the legendary lich, Lady Vol. You emerge from the portal and find yourself in a narrow maze of alleyways somewhere in the Greywall district.
Yeah, so basically I need to chop my way through this area to find Lady Vol, and that's the quest.
You enter the room to find several members of the Emerald Claw deep in contemplation. They acknowledge your entry, but continue with their vigil.
When this quest came out, there was a bug that I noticed on Lamania, and I pointed it out. I'm pretty sure they didn't fix it, so I'm going to check to see if they fixed it or not. Mind you, it's only a visual bug, so it's not like it's critical for the quest or something.
Several hidden hand cultists stand guard. A mage maintains a magical portal in the corner.
And the bug is still here.
The portal closes when the mage falls. You've disrupted the hidden hand's ability to gather reinforcements in this area.
Yeah, so here's the thing. This room was much smaller. It only reached until the pillars. Okay, so you would walk into this room, and basically the wall would be over here on the side. This is how wide the room was. Then they started decorating the walls. So on this wall, you can see over here, they added a torch. So they added a torch on this wall also. Then they made the room bigger, but didn't move the torch. So here's the torch. Still stuck midair. I love this thing. Hope they never fix it. I just realized I didn't turn on the chat. Sorry. 1 second. Okay, chat's on now. If there's anything I missed, I'm sorry. Hi there, Ozzy man. I just saw your chat. I missed it. Yeah, good day to you, sir. Sorry, the chat wasn't on my screen. Yeah. Did not realize, but yeah, thank you. Should be working now. For anyone joining now, we're running the Vecna Unleashed quests. These are the heroic version of the quests, and I'm running them so I can finish the saga. Saga is like the whole story arc. If you do it all together, you get another extra reward. And I'm doing that because I want to get a whole bunch of XP.
This gate is securely fastened from the other side.
Here we fall into the floor.
Nearby walls and floor are riddled with cracks. Maybe you can find a way in and around. The pavement beneath you cracks and then gives way. You've stumbled into the sewers and into someone else's territory.
Luckily, they didn't do that thing where they do in sewers, where if you step in the water, you get this debuff. It's kind of sick of it. So at least they saved you from that. Okay, done with the sewer section. Hello. How are you doing today? The Shadow Legion. No, good to see you too. Yeah, sorry before for the Twitch chat. Well, for all chat not working. I mean, chat was working, but I couldn't see it on screen, so you might have said something and I would have missed it. So, sorry about that again.
The sound of footsteps can be heard nearby. A figure in a very
And here we've got to work our way through this final room.
The traveler disables the portal. The door opens, revealing a warehouse decorated with large banners. You've arrived at an Emerald Claw base, hidden deep in the heart of the city.
If anyone's got questions about what's going on, please feel free. Yeah, basically this room, I've got 3 that I need to click, 3 levers I need to pull. Yeah, thank you, Ozzy, man. I went back to... I suddenly realized that the Twitch chat wasn't... I didn't have the overlay open up. So I went back and looked in my Twitch manager window, and I saw that you pasted something. I wasn't sure you were still here, though. So, sorry about that. But yeah, good day to you. Good midday. I think there's the monk updates coming today, but I'm not sure about it.
A large gate bars access to the heart of the Emerald Claw complex.
Yeah, I was worried about streaming because I was like, for last week I've been coughing like nonstop. And every time I would start talking, it would like flare it up and make me start coughing more. So streaming when my job is to like entertain and talk was not really viable. And so I didn't. Did I miss a switch? Yes, I missed a switch. I think it's down at the bottom someplace. Probably at the bottom. Got the yellow one, got the purple one over there. Somewhere over here. That's what happens when you don't do these quests for a million years. Thing came out, I ran it into the ground, and that was it. I was done with it. Why do I feel like it's someplace here? Nope, that's outside. It's right over here. Got it.
The third crystal lights and the large metal portcullis.
Glad that didn't take too much time. Okay, gotta chop our way through this. And then we fight in the final room. Yeah. Okay, here's the firebrand
The
thingy.
vessel is almost within your grasp. But then its guardian springs into action, ready to protect the artifact at any cost. Now that the guardian has been defeated, you can at last try to take the vessel.
And we shall take the vessel.
As you take hold of the vessel, Lady Vol's voice fills the room. As you can see, faith in yourself can be
21,000 is not that bad. How
I
much is
will
my
help
due?
you in what is to
How much am I
come,
missing out?
though in truth,
Elite.
the power comes
Am I
from
missing
within.
XP?
Lady Vol addresses you.
First time
You have
completion.
obtained the vessel. Keep it
I don't seem to be
in the
missing
hands
any
of
XP. I might as well use an XP pot.
interloper. I wish you the best of luck in your attempts to thwart the Whispered One.
Yeah, I guess we should use an XP pot if we're going to do this. I thought I was going to have major penalties to XP. But apparently not. Well, fine. XP pot it is. I'm going to drink it now because if not, I'm probably going to forget to use it before the end of the next quest. Unless somebody's going to remind me in chat. The evil we know. I'm not really using these hirelings. They're more like a just in case something goes wrong. Which occasionally things do go wrong. And it's a better time recovery if you got something that can save you.
High Priestess Valeria tells you to undergo the trials of the Dark Six. Return to the center of the Hall of the Traveler once you have succeeded.
Yep, so again, this is part of the Vecna Unleashed quest chain. And right now, I'm trying to obtain favor of specific deities or something like that. And right now I'm trying to get the favor of the Dark Six, so they're giving me this trial chamber I need to defeat. And that's what it's called, the evil we know.
You enter the Chamber of the Fury, and a voice booms out. Let the grand melee begin! Cheering combatants leap from the stands, begin brawling.
I wish they did more damage to each other. You could just let them kill each other. But they really want you to fight, so. I mean, I guess if you wait long enough, they'll all chop each other down.
Final and quite confident competitors take to the arena, bent on battling you. The last of the trio falls, and only silence remains. You have completed the trial.
You can fight this guy also if you want.
The werewolf lopes to the center of the arena and gives a blood-curdling howl.
Not very strong. we get like a chest for killing that guy? I feel like we're missing something. Nope, never mind. Okay, so the evil we know, and there's 5 passageways, and yeah, we've got trials down each one of them. And that's our job. To clear all the trials, and we get the favor of whatever, the Dark Six. I think this is the side with the puzzles. I vaguely remember.
As you
And
enter
yeah,
Hall
the
of
puzzles.
Keeper, a mummy raises its crumbling arm. You realize it wants to speak with you. The mummy says you should
Okay,
deal with
I've
4
spoken to the mummy.
uncontrolled undead within the chamber of the keeper as you see fit.
Just trying to make sure that it doesn't touch one of the traps. That's all. Basically, start from the end. Make sure it all links up without going through one of the traps, and then set it to go low. Okay, so this goes this way. I guess this means this must go up. And then it goes around, so let's turn this off. Basically, I want to make sure it can't connect one of the traps. This goes here, this goes here. This goes around this corner. Doesn't connect here. Let's disconnect this thing so it doesn't connect automatically to this when I flip it over. And okay. That's 2 out of 4 puzzles. So this, go through here, and this way. This and this. Right, can't connect anything else, so it goes up and around. Let's prevent this from connecting there. And let's prevent this from connecting here. And now we can swap this. Okay. 1 more puzzle to go. Okay, so this one goes here and here. Let's flip this over so this doesn't connect. And we'll flip this over so this doesn't connect. I guess we can go straight up, so. This, make sure it doesn't connect to the side over here. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This won't connect anything. This won't connect anything. Okay.
The mummy nods in approval after you finish his request.
Okay, we're done.
You have completed the trial of the keeper.
And we get a D door back. Yeah, so basically, every time we go down one of the passageways, at the end they give us a shortcut back. So we've done these 2 passageways, we've got 3 more on the other side.
Past the wall of water.
For anyone joining now, we're doing a quest called The Devil We Know. The Evil We Know. And basically, I need to complete these trials to gain the favor of the Dark Six. And I'll need that to face off against Vecna at the end. This particular passageway is controlled by the Sahagin. And they are the fish people, or whatever they're called. So, I'm underwater inside of a bubble. I don't know why DDO doesn't have just like mechanics that allow you to attack underwater. Usually when you're underwater, you can't attack, you can't cast spells, you can't do anything. It's not like they just give you a penalty. They're just like, nope, you can't. So the workaround for it is to give you this bubble, who just makes you go slow, but for all purposes, you are basically on land, so you can cast as usual. I guess it works.
The barrier,
But it really,
Sarwagan spellcaster, dissipates.
okay, whatever.
Captain chortles as you approach. He gestures for his minions to attack.
Too bad I don't have a pair of Steps secret goggles. I'll be able to show you the secret chest over here. Probably should go pick them up.
The pirate captain kneels in defeat, indicating that the trial of the devourer
Let's fight the water weird.
is complete. The conch of secret amidst a deep, echoing laugh, as the sound of rushing water comes from the center of the room.
Got it.
Under attack.
Yeah, so right underneath this thing over here, if you've got the proper goggles, you can see the whatever it is. I'm pretty sure I don't have the goggles on me. Let's see. Goggles. No. That is a shame. Okay, let's remember to pick up the goggles once we're finished with this quest. Okay, this area is done. 2 more to go.
A telltale sound echoes from the chamber of the shadow. Traps. The trial has already
Okay, the
begun.
blue is... looks like a diamond. Yeah, blue, let's call it, I don't know. Blue shuriken. Fine. We need it for the puzzle thing, so... one of them I need to know, the other one I can just spin. Well, that was easy. You gotta defeat all these guys to get a key to unlock this thing. Iron key. Slot it in. Give me the ladder.
Disappears, and a ladder forms out of glowing green energy.
Yeah, a jumping trial. Just skip half of it. Why do the whole thing? Traps, traps, traps. Can't wait till I get my evasion. Okay. Ladder up.
The flayed monk seems to grin as you climb onto his platform. He begins his assault.
And let's get out of here. 1 more to go. Yeah, and for anyone joining now, this is part of Vecna Unleashed, the evil we know, and I need to do these trials to gain favor with the Dark Six. At least that's what I understood of the story. This particular case, I think we're going to have to talk to a bunch of NPCs and go through skill checks.
The sounds
See if I can do any of them.
Incantations, bubbling potions, and whirring machines fill this space. A distracted-looking gnome in the center of the room motions for you to step up and speak. The gnome has left you to
Use
try
magic
to challenge
device.
her directly, or to
Success.
seek aid from her assistants.
Nice. I had that one. Let's see about this one. How about you? Perform. Success. I've got that too. And let's see about the third one. Heal. Fail. 1 second. Should probably buff myself if I'm going to try again. There you go. Another +1. Heal. Fail. Well, I rolled a 1, so. Oops. 6. Never mind. Fine.
The gnome nods. Then she barks an order, and the golem next to her rises. The trial of the shadow has begun. With the golem destroyed and the wizard defeated,
Okay, now we need to remember to use our XP pot.
Trial of the shadow. You've completed the required trials. A voice booms out throughout the
Okay, and now the final.
Return to the center of the Hall of the Traveler for your final trial. Standing among the statues in the Hall of the Traveler, you were surprised when they suddenly begin moving. The voice booms out once more. The final trial begins now.
You gotta fight a whole bunch of doppelgangers. Previous to this, the only place to use these doppelgangers was in the Haunted Halls of Evening Star. Now we need to talk to whatever.
Silence falls over the Hall of the Traveler when the final doppelganger is defeated. You should speak with High Priestess Valeria once more. You have
Yeah,
completed
26,000.
the Dark Six, earning the blessings of those sinister gods in your fight against the intruder Vecna.
Okay, so basically, the thing I need now to remember is to go get myself those pair of goggles. Before I forget. You're wondering what I'm talking about when I say goggles, so Vecna Unleashed added a special, like, secret optional. If you talk to this character over here, Steps, so when you talk to her, she'll give you this dialogue. Hi, the name Steps, whatever it is. And now if you come back tomorrow and you talk to her, you'll get a different dialogue. And after like 13 days of talking to her, she'll give you a pair of goggles. Well, she'll give you a quest. You'll have to go into the... You'll have to go into the first quest, and behind the bookshelf over there, there's a pair of goggles you'll need to find. There's an item you need to find. You bring it back to her the next day, and she'll give you a pair of goggles. And once you've got those goggles, you can wear them to gain access to certain things. Let's see, eyes, steps, lenses of listening, whatever here. Find the goggles. Here they are. You guys can't see them. Here are the goggles. And let's drop them on the shortcut bar next to these goggles. Basically, once you put on these goggles, they'll allow you to see certain things that are hidden. And one of the things that is hidden is a specific altar that allows you to do some crafting. One second, let's just fix my stuff. Every time I sell, I just wait for the item to pop up for a second. And you can see this thing at the bottom. It says red augment slot. I'm looking for something that has 2 slots. Anything that has 2 slots, I'll keep for crafting. Everything else just gets sold with all the junk. Unless it's named loot, in which case I'll deal with it later. There we go. So if you go to the bar over here and you jump up on these crates, you can get up onto the rafters. And you can make your way through the rafters to this little section over here. Come on, go through. And all the way at the end, right over here, as you can see, there is nothing until you put on the goggles. And then there's a magical, well, hidden-hand shrine. And in here, this is where you can upgrade and turn certain things into minor artifacts. So you'll need a whole bunch of like ingredients you can get. But you can take any of the shiny reliquary or whatever they're called, the items you get from the items you can get from the Vecna Unleashed, whatever it is, the weapons, and you can turn them into defiled versions. So there's heroic and epic over here. But this is where the altar is for the crafting. So yeah, that's what this is, these pair of goggles. And the ingredients you need for the crafting, well, there's a bunch of ingredients, but they only come from 4 different quests. And you have to have the goggles on to be able to see the chest that drops the ingredients. So previous quest had it, and we couldn't see it. So hopefully there'll be another quest where we can show it off. Whoops. I didn't mean to go up. Let's go back. I thought that was an access point to the quest. I didn't mean to go back to the airship. Law and Order is the Shavrath quest. What about this one? Taken in Hand. I think this one has a secret, whatever it is. Let's check it out. Yeah, this quest has it. Again, we're here to do this quest. Taken in Hand. I do believe we get some kind of favor from this guy. I'm not sure what it is. Sorry, I don't get too much into the storyline.
On the Hidden Hand headquarters. You should speak with your United Forces contact. The scout says that the United Forces assault on the Hidden Hands headquarters is already underway. You can take advantage of your allies' attack to carve your way through the enemy base.
Am I doing this quest on Legendary? Yes. I was wondering why I was dying. Not that I can't do it on Legendary, but why would I? I'm sorry, I'm a bit spaced out. Try again. This time let's do it on Heroic, as appropriate. Not be a level 23 character trying to do a level 36 quest. Yeah. Don't need to exaggerate. Heroic Elite. Much better. Yeah, I was wondering why I was dying. Like, what? Am I doing something wrong? Did I change my gear? I'm like trying to figure it out. She's like, no, you're just way under level. That's all. I mean, I survived pretty fine, but okay.
Your allies have already begun their attack on the Hidden Hand headquarters. You should speak with your United Forces contact. The scout says that the United Forces assault on the Hidden Hands headquarters is already underway. You can take advantage of your allies' attack to carve your way.
Okay, much better.
Base.
This feels more like it.
The Hidden Hand cultists have locked down their fortress to help them battle the invasion. You'll need to find a way to open more doors if you want to make your way further inside.
I don't exactly remember the path through this place. I did have to do it for farming, so I did run it a whole bunch of times, but I don't remember exactly where everything is, so hopefully my instincts will kick in and I'll remember where to go. This guy's got a hand or a head.
By one of the leaders of the are doing a good job of keeping the hidden hand busy while you conduct your search. The Hand of Vecna has fallen. You can now reach the lever that opens the way leading deeper into the complex.
A bunch of side rooms and stuff. I don't care about all the side rooms. I just want to get to the end. And hopefully show off that hidden, whatever it is, steps thingy. Again, I hope I remember where it is. I'm pretty sure I do, but whatever. Hopefully I'll be able to show it off. I don't remember if it's this way or the other way. I feel like it's this way. We shall find out.
You spot one of the levers you'll need to access to open.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in here. Okay, here we go. See all these barrels? Once you break them, so right behind it is a chest. Can't see it? Here we go. Swap the goggles. And there you go. There's a chest. And by the way, for you to be able to access this chest, interact with it, or anything, you have to have the goggles on. And here's where you get this black dust of vile darkness. So there's 4 ingredients like this and 4 different name chests that are all accessible only with the goggles. So here again, here's a chest. Swap my goggles. No chest. Here. I'm opening the chest, and if I swap my goggles, it won't allow me to, when you hit loot all, it'll just close the window. It won't work. Anyway, so that's that. So now I've shown off at least one of them on stream.
This lever is guarded. You'll need to defeat the Eye of Vecna to open your path.
Okay, let's kill the
The Eye of Vecna falls, allowing you to access the lever it guarded.
Okay, this green lever opens up this. Okay, I think this is going to be the final room after this. We need to fight the hand and eye again, and then we get to fight the boss. If I remember correctly. For some reason I think I need this switch. There's another one over there, but that I don't think I need that one. We shall find out.
You've reached the heart of the
Yep.
fortress.
This is it.
You spy a cleric up above.
Here comes the hand and the
It
eye
seems
again.
to be the cult's leader, conducting some kind of ritual. You've defeated the resurrected hand and eye again. This leaves only the cult's leader, The heart of Vecna. Unfortunately, the heart has sealed himself behind the magical barrier. You'll need to find a way to reach him.
If you would think as a game designer, you would realize that when they made these characters, the hand and the eye of Vecna, so they're unique characters. They don't show up anyplace else in DDO. So some developer had to spend a lot of time in making a character who floats and has got a hand for a head or whatever it is. And then you fight it and you kill it in 3 seconds and that's it. So they have to have some way to shoehorn it back into games, or at least to get it to fight it twice. So that's why they threw it back in for a second round. So at least all that effort doesn't go to waste, because it would feel like you put a ton of effort into showcase a really cool monster and then you use it once. So yeah, you get to fight it twice. I know this for a fact because they put it in like every piece of promotional material, so obviously they were very proud of it.
The leaders of the Hidden Hand are dead, and the cult in the city has been completely routed.
27,000.
To find the information you came for.
Where's the end chest?
Where is Vecna? You find the answer in the heart of Vecna's desk. Vecna has traveled to a fortress in the astral plane to conduct a ritual. A ritual
Here
that
we
will
go.
give him dominion over all of Eberron.
Finished. Let's see how many of the quests I've completed already. If I can get myself my saga, I'll just take it. Because the XP per minute is not that great right now. I should be doing epic stuff. Ziggit Moy, you're talking about the one at the end of, yeah, TOOE. So the truth is, I don't really know because I've never really had a lot of problems with her. Then again, I haven't really pushed difficulties. So I would recommend, if you want better, like more detailed advice, leave it as a comment underneath the stream. And once I look into it, I'll give you like something more comprehensive, because I don't want to just give you something vague. So I'd appreciate it if you left it as a comment underneath the video, and hopefully I'll get back to you. Thanks. Sure, no problem. $59,000 XP. How much did I actually get? General. Got 59,000 plus 10%, 5,900 for VIP, and 23,599 from the experience pot. Guess not bad. Okay, whatever. Let's get back to Vaughn. Vaughn 4. 3, sorry. I know Vaughn 3 has been run into the ground and everybody's sick of it. But I need it for flagging for whatever it is, the raid. And also it's good XP. So we are going to do it. I believe I get another. Take some more HP. Yeah, I haven't even done the House K favor with this character. I started level 15 and just basically rushed the whole way, so.
You must finish your journey into Vale's home.
Still haven't opened up my bank. I need to do that before I TR, because if I don't, I won't have enough room to unload my TR cash.
Made their home in the shadow of these ruined walls. They seem eager to repel invaders. Could they possibly be allies of Vale?
See if I can get all the way to the barrier before I get a red dungeon alert.
Ahead, a glowing barrier blocks access to a forbidding cavern. The guttural...
That took 38 seconds. And Epic Elite. Let's go. Get my safety hirelings out. Occasional res just in case. And yeah, Vault of Night Part 3. This is again a part of a chain that is required if you want to flag
being of metal and magic
for a raid.
you from the cavern ahead. This inevitable is a Marut, one whose sole purpose is to destroy those who cheat death.
This place is loaded with optional bosses. Each one of them gives you a few thousand XP. Or 1,000, I don't know, whatever. There's a collectible here, by the way, if you jump down. Collectible. Let's go back up. Where's that crack? Got out. Yeah. I don't think my wear rack can do these things in Epic Elite. There's a whole bunch of traps, and if you can disable them, you get a lot of extra XP. Let's try in a second. Get my hireling to try. Disable it. I'll buff him and see what happens. Well, Mookie, how are you doing? I'm doing great, thank you very much. I've been sick. Objectively, I'm still sick. I'm actually feeling worse today than I was yesterday. Just thankfully, I'm not coughing as much, so. As long as I can stream without coughing my head off, I will try. So yeah. Right now I'm just going to see if Mike Hireling has any chance of disabling these traps. How about you get a bit closer? Doesn't look like he's going to find them. Nope. Never mind. About staying at max level, yes. There's, I say this a bunch, but I'll say it again. There's 4 different power sources when it comes to DDO. One of them is your character. All the things that are inherent to the character. So every time you TR, your character gets stronger. You take tomes, you add them, they get stronger. Everything like that. So that's fixed. Well, yeah, I already have pneumonia and I've been taking antibiotics for that, so yeah. I was very careful. I went to the doctor to check my lungs like every 2 days, and they couldn't hear anything, but I was feeling like a raspiness in my lungs. So I went to take a chest x-ray and found out that it was starting, so yeah. I'm basically halfway through my antibiotics by now. Yeah, but so back to the question. There's 4 sources of power when it comes to your character, and one of them is how strong your character is inherently. So that's like past lives and tomes and all that kind of stuff. Then there's experience, which is experience and whatever Twitch skills. I mean, the ability of the guy who's sitting behind the computer playing the game. And, well, there's also gear. and past life. And then the last one is the build. So if you max out gear and you have a very good build, so that's already 2 sources of power. And if you know how to play the game, that's 3 sources of power. No, you don't have to have your character do a million past lives. And you're a viable character. So, yeah. Just remind yourself that if you don't, like, make your character stronger, so then you'll need to invest in the other ones more. So if you want to have, like, really, really good gear, yeah, you could just stay first life character at max with, like, max gear. You'll do great.
Stares coldly at you, perhaps calculating the threat you pose to its mission.
Yeah. The truth is, I was sick for the last, like, 3 weeks. So the first 2 weeks, I was sick and I was home. But I wasn't coughing, so I was actually doing more streaming. Then I went back to work, but all the coughing started. So I was feeling better overall, but I just couldn't stream. Now I'm actually objectively feeling worse. Today specifically. But at least no coughing. It was really annoying because I was recording my videos, the weekly videos, and I had to, like, edit out the coughing because it was literally unwatchable. Even if you turn off the voice, so then it just looks like I'm retching, which is worse. If I leave the coughing noises in, at least you know what I'm doing. Yeah, so the woes of recording videos. You pop this chest, it summons a bunch of scorpions. I usually don't get pneumonia. I've gotten strep throat a million times. I've got massive tonsils, so usually it gets stuck on my tonsils and I get strep rather than getting pneumonia. Pneumonia, bronchitis, whatever you want to call it. It usually doesn't make it into my lungs. Here's a side fact. There's nothing to do with DDO, but just, well, pneumonia and stuff like that in general. So, there's a fun thing. I don't know how fun this is going to be, but you know the smell you get from chlorine? When you go to a pool, there's a chlorine smell. So if anybody's ever dealt with chlorine itself, if you open up a bottle of chlorine and smell it, it doesn't smell like that. But somehow, the pool with all the chlorine smells like chlorine. But if you just smell chlorine, it doesn't smell like chlorine. And that's because, well, chlorine doesn't have a smell. Chlorine reacting to urine has a smell. So that's the smell you smell in the pool is actually the chlorine reacting, the chemical reaction of it, killing the bacteria. That's what gives off that smell. Yeah, actually, Mark Rober made a whole full video about it. Anyways, but I've talked to a few people with pools and stuff, and they can all confirm the same thing. Chlorine from the bottle doesn't have any smell. And once you pour it into the pool, somehow there's a magic smell that comes off. Anyway, forget it. My point is that certain antibiotics, when they kill or when they're reacting to the bacteria in your body, they give off a smell. And you can tell how deep you are into the biotics. Like, there's certain, like, smells that your body gives off when you're, like, second or third day of antibiotics, because it's like fighting the bacteria, and the reaction is giving off that smell. Once the smell goes away, it means that basically you've won against the bacteria. So yeah, I'm just saying that I've gotten past that part. So hopefully I'm at the end of this. For anyone who's joining now, we are doing a Von 3, Vault of the Night, Part 3. I'm sure anybody who's played DDOs run this into the ground because this is one of the known as the daily quests. Everybody runs this quest because it gives a lot of XP. Yeah, I really hope I'm on the other side. How do you say your name? Rachel Letters? I never know with people's names what they have intended. Was a letter supposed to be a name, a word? Always have to guess. I'm on Orion, if that was your question. I do try to make sure that I have it on the overlay on the stream, so at the top of the stream, under the Dungeons and Dragons Online, should server Orion. But good you've asked, because I could have very easily been on the wrong server. I mean, because I have to manually go and change that thing. It doesn't like change automatically. OBS doesn't know I'm on Orion. I have to tell it. I have a graphic for every single server, so if I've changed to Cormier and I didn't change the graphic over there, I would say Cormier. So yeah. I have a few characters on Cormier, and I put it on pause. I really wanted to play on Cormier just so I could get the cat, the mount. But I was getting sick of the grind, and right now I've got a closer goal. This week, and Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Axel will be doing his weekly raids on Orion. So I really want to get this character back up to cap and flag for all the raids so I can join with this character. So that is my short-term goal right now. Ah, okay.
Gate ahead marks the outer boundaries of the Drow encampment. You have entered a new section of the caves. In the distance, you hear a strange and evil keening. What dark allies you have never heard of a beholder?
I waited until I had immunity to negative levels before I did this. I was like, I just cannot deal with these beholders. The only other hardcore season I've done was the one with the treasures, because I wanted the gold footprints, and that was nearly, well, not nearly as hard as the lanterns. The lanterns are driving me crazy. I still haven't gotten even a single reward. Don't get me started on the lanterns. I don't have anything nice to say about it. Okay, maybe if you force me, I might have something nice to say. But I'm not fond of it in any kind of way. This world will be shutting down in 3 hours. Good to know. Select next, select next. Come on, where's the last rune? Where is the last rune? You look at my keyboard, you can see what I'm doing. I've set the key next to the number 1 in my key bindings to be set for select next. And now I'm just mashing it, hoping that I can find the last rune in my viewfinder. Where is it? This is very odd. Yep. Just found it. I'm waiting for the monk. I call it monk. The monk update to come to go live, and I guess we'll see how it turns out. There's only one thing I care about in that update, and I'm just gonna hold my breath and see if it goes through or not. And that's it. I don't even want to talk about it. The average painter, yep.
Water plunge into a pool far below. If you leap into the waterfall, there will be no turning back.
Okay, here we go. Another one of these side bosses. Each one of them drops 11,000 XP. Nice. The reincarnation changes that they've added are, well, I think they're good. They're not going to help me, at least not with this character, because, well, he's way past all of the... He's way past those first reincarnation numbers. But yeah, less grinding at the beginning. At least it'll help newer players catch up a little bit on their past lives. Let's get the bosses.
Ahead,
Come on.
champions of Vale's forces have arrayed
I don't know, this is a force of habit. I always make sure to fight when I'm close enough to the shrine. Just in case things go south. Come on. What are you doing in there? This guy broken? They're all looking at the wall. There was an update some time ago where they changed all the Elder Beholders, and basically most of the Beholders in the game got shrunk down. They're no longer as big, but some of them are still huge. Yeah, not suffering from negative levels is a game changer. Ooh, I got hair dye. Nice. Can put that in my collection. I've got probably a few hundred hair dyes that I've been collecting, hoarding. Let's shrine. Probably don't need it. I'm going to do it anyway.
This great hall is flanked by towering statues from a lost age. Vale chose a dramatic battleground for her last stand against the inevitable.
Get rid of all that trash so it doesn't catch me when I'm not ready.
The implacable Marut and saved the vampiress from her doom.
131,000. Well, closer to 132,000, but whatever. 20 minutes, yeah. Definitely very good XP per minute, this quest. That leaves us with Von 4. And we'll be finished flagging for Vault of Night. Don't actually need to talk to that guy to advance the storyline. But I did anyway. Hopefully, Von 4 should push me over the edge and I should have enough XP to take a level. I guess then we do Giant Hold. Or whatever. We'll see. Probably should do my obligatory raid sometime soon. Just in case I need a finished extreme.
The heat in these tunnels is almost unbearable. Who would want to live in such a place? An earth elemental rises from the ground, blocking the only safe path to the Foundry's gate. The lever locks into place and the gate opens. A warforged worker beckons to you from inside the foundry. Viscous fluid oozes from the gate, crashes shut. Haywire spared no expense in keeping his secrets.
The truth is...
RC2 stops abruptly and rocks back and forth in a daze.
Isn't there a...
It's quite obvious something is wrong.
Yeah, let's get these hirelings to stand him here.
You spy a
Just in case something goes wrong.
creature crawling
from under our seat. You hear someone clearing his throat. The sound appears to be coming from a stone face set into a wall.
Okay. Yeah. In this particular quest, we're gonna go try to find Haywire, who's locked up in here someplace. We gotta unlock this place first. Do a shortcut here through this this pipe underneath the stairs, instead of going to the main room. Yep, go through here, come out right underneath the stairs, skip that entire room. This way they don't see you approach and they don't get a chance to attack you. Yeah, and that was one of the more annoying enemies for melee players. You know, wait until I get to level 26, so I'll get my auto heal every time I use a rage. And so basically every time I come off of rage, I get exhausted. But once I get to level 26, I'll basically, once I renew my rage, will also dismiss the previous exhaustion. I won't have to keep on using restoration pots every time. Collectible. Here's some of this trash, or I'll get a dungeon alert. Drive me crazy. For some odd reason, the animation, the rage animation on not half orc, I mean on Purple Dragonite seems to be extra long for some bizarre reason. So even Primal Scream seems to take time when it's supposed to be like an instant cast. Yeah. I'm gonna drop down over here. Rather than running through that room, we're just gonna go again, shortcut through here, and head back down. They're gonna do the skip. Come on. Nice. Maybe a few seconds. Stick to the right over here. Yeah, I don't want to fall down the next shaft over there.
Even through your clothing and armor, you can feel the floor grow warmer.
I was pretty sure I knew where it was, but I wasn't going to take any chances. I was just like, nah, a little jump. This is one of my favorite builds. It's pretty good. It might turn out to be my favorite build. We'll have to see. I was playing the other day with my Monty build. And I had this, this burning desire to check out a theory I had. I checked it out and confirmed what I wanted to confirm. And now I turned my main into this particular build. So I'll only know once I get the cap and I get all my items and all my gear and all my stuff set up, how good is this build for real. But I do think that this build has the potential to solo some of the endgame raids. So like the legendary raids. And that's really the goal. I want to see I really want to get a whole bunch of those legendary raids off the list of my completion lists for solo raids. And I thought it was way out of my reach, and once I suddenly realized certain things about this build, like, you know what, I think it is feasible. So we shall see. I'll only know once I'm done, but hopefully. This build is against a whole bunch of odds. Like, it really shouldn't work at all. And yeah.
You spy a slimy leech-like creature.
If you're wondering what this build is, so here's the short version of it.
Shadows.
1 second. I don't think you can see this. Hopefully you can see it now. But basically the gimmick of this build is I have a 20% chance, crit chance, times 7. And when I use adrenaline, once I get to level 26 or endgame, whatever it is, so this becomes a massive, massive crit chance. So it's a 100% chance to hit times 7. So yeah, I'm using a light pick, which is the game who has absolutely 0 named light picks in the entire game. None. There's no light picks in the game that are named. Well, I mean, maybe for an event, there's the pick of light, endless light, or something like that. But basically nothing. This is 4 Bard, 4 Fighter, and 12 Barbarian. Here's the thing. The gimmick is I want to have enough self-healing that I can do some raids. Now that they got rid of Exiled Angel and completely killed that line, so need some other way to do it. So here's the thing. So the tier 5 over here gives me, when I'm on rage, this is why you see me rage all the time. I don't really need it for the damage. Every time I'm on rage, it helps me. It auto heals. And I've got 4 levels of Bard, so my songs auto heal me. So as long as I max out my self-healing, my whatever it's called, healing amplification and positive healing spell power for this one, the Bard, I should be able to like survive through long raids where you need to just have tons and tons and tons of self-healing. So yeah, and also have like proper DPS. So hopefully it all works out. But yeah, light pick is definitely not a DPS weapon. But because I'm swashbuckling as a bard, so the crit range on it becomes 20%. And Barbarian tier 5 gives it +2. And Patience gives me another +1. So overall, I've got a +7 crit range. That's not just on 19 and 20, that's on everything. Eventually I get even more for 19 and 20. But that's only 10%. Yes, I am hoping to post it also.
Heavy lever locks into position.
Wow, that was a lot of save.
The north wing gates.
And yeah, we're going to drop down here. And once again, we're going to shortcut back through this side. This is why I do this side first. Saves me the whole way to run back. Yeah, the thing is, this build is supposed to be like done for raid, so you're immune to negative levels, and you're immune to magic missile, and you've got freedom of movement, and what else do you got on this thing? I forgot all the different immunities you've got. Yeah, you've got evasion, and you got all the good stuff. But again, I'll only be able to see if I can like solo some of the legendary raids. So then, yeah, the goal was achieved. But for that, I'm gonna have to go like all out on filigrees and upgrading my weapons and getting mythic everything. Basically, you have to max out your gear to be the absolute best. Because my character doesn't have that many past lives. I've been playing DDO for like over 15 years and I still don't have completionist because Well, I don't do that many TRs. I have way too many side characters. But I would like to have a endgame character that I could use as a comparison with all my build guides. So I can make a build guide, show a first life character, and side by side show what an endgame character looks like. So you can compare. Yes, and I think here's the thing. I was using the Monty build I was using is a first life character with like no tomes, and it was doing great. And that's when I realized that this build is actually that strong, because it was a first life character and I used him to solo Legendary Shroud, and that's when I felt like, oh, you know, it's actually probably close enough that I probably could do this, and that's what gave me the push to try. Yeah, this puzzle wheel, so the two wheels adjacent to the wheel in the center need to be set to whatever is above it. So those two need to be set to H. Then I can spin this. And this needs to be spun to whatever's on the back side of it, which is always the same. So in this case, it's an elephant. So these two need to be H, so I can spin that one to elephant. Yeah, I call this rune H, because it looks like an H to me. Okay, these two are H. Now I can spin this to what I call elephant, because, I don't know, it looks like an elephant. This little thing over here, I don't know why, looks to be like an elephant. Somebody left me a comment saying, you should make a build based on the Count of Monte Cristo. I was like, what do you mean? He said, just make a swashbuckling, character that uses a rapier. So I checked out the movies. All the movies have a rapier in it. I checked out the book. No mention of a rapier. So the original book doesn't have a rapier in it. But whatever. Fine. So I made a character. It's 3 Bard, 17 Barbarian. It is super easy to level and is very, very powerful. And yeah, it's based off the Count of Monte Cristo. And somebody asked me about the build, and I left them a comment in the quest. In my solo run of Legendary Shroud. It's in a comment over there. Somebody asked me, and it's still a work in progress, but I left it as a comment. So if you really want to check it out, it is posted someplace. Yeah, it's very easy to level. It's very straightforward. You get cleaves, so your single weapon fighting doesn't feel that bad, which is the main problem with single weapon fighting. Single weapon fighting is like great against bosses, but it stinks against like leveling, because like there's so many monsters in the game. But you get 2 cleaves like very early on, making the whole leveling process just very easy. Your healing is very fine because you've got blood tribute, and yeah, you're super powerful. So it's an awesome build. Again, eventually you'll get a build guide.
Guards the foundry controls, flanked by massive clockwork beasts. Prepare for battle.
Yeah, so this is like a knockoff version of the Monty build, but instead of using a rapier, you use it as a light pick. And this is not as easy to level, because really you need to have all of your stuff. Basically, before you're at endgame, you're not at full power. So it's not like I'm weak or something. I'm doing pretty good. But really, it's not the same until you like fully level up. The Monty build is very easy to play. And now we run.
A toneless voice echoes through the foundry. This complex will self-destruct in 5 minutes. Please evacuate immediately.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to check out the Monty build, the write-up I made for it, well, it's a work in progress, but you can see it underneath the thing. Well, build guides, I only have 3 official build guides, and they're all, I think they were linked someplace in the old forums. Usually I'm a video creator. I personally resonate better with videos than posts or written posts, so yeah, I don't really have very good written up posts. I do have them on the forums, but they're not updated or anything. I really should work on it. I've been considering making a website, and I found out to my dismay that you can no longer buy domains. You can only rent domains now. I don't really have the money to shill out right now. But if I did, I definitely would make a write-up for every build I have and keep it updated. I just don't feel like doing it on the forums. I don't feel like I have control over my own content on the forums, and it drives me crazy. Also, I'm never checking the comments on anything but my YouTube videos, so people leave comments on the forum and ask questions, and I'll see it like a year later, which is not fair. So the best way to contact me is just leave a comment on YouTube. I don't care which video it is. I have notifications on and I see people's comments. And I check that all the time.
Rumblings from deep within the factory reverberate down the corridor. Stay clear.
Yeah, I've left a Harling at every lockout stop, so hopefully we don't need to use it, but it'd be okay just in case. Yeah, fire's gonna come down this hall. Yeah, there is a bug over here who makes this bridge not work all the time. Sometimes it like bugs out. You can fall through it. So I'm paranoid and just jumping over it. Hello, Haywire. Thank you very much. We'll take this. 137,000. Nice. Collect all this. Like this. And there's one more collectible over here. From the bridge, you jump down to the side. There we go. A mushroom. And now we can finish. I just need to check what's my next level. Okay, next level is Eerie Aim, which is very good, because I finally won't miss any attacks, I hope. One second, I'll explain you everything you need to know about Barbarian. I just want to finish this so I don't forget and get stuck someplace. I want to confirm that I am indeed flagged for Vault of Night. Let's explain Barbarian. Okay, I am now flagged. I think I'll move over to a different Barbarian character who's less convoluted than this one. And I'll show off the Monty build because we've been talking about it. Is anybody going to redeem a raid? course, as part of being the Count of Monte Cristo, I had to dress him up to be like, well, the Count of Monte Cristo. So. Okay, so let's explain Barbarian. Here we go. Should be able to see it. Let's change this to... Nope, that's Bard. Where's Barbarian? Okay, you should be able to see everything now. Okay, Barbarian gets an inherent ability called Rage that allows it to go into a rage for a short amount of time. That gives it, I think, +4 to strength and constitution. Once the rage is over, you get exhausted. At like a level 11 or something Barbarian, you get to upgrade this rage, and now it becomes like a better rage, and it gives you +6 to rage to what's it called? Strength and constitution. And then there's another upgrade once you get to like level 17 that gives you greater rage, that gives you +8 to strength and constitution. Once you get to level 17, you also get tireless rage. You no longer are exhausted. Okay? So this build, so if you're going to mix or match Barbarian, optimally you want to have, if you want to get the benefits out of rage, you'll get that, the full benefits are like at level 17. So this is 17 Barbarian to get the max Barbarian benefits. Okay? Just as a side note, the Bard over here is a swashbuckler, which requires 3 levels of Bard. So that's why there's 3 levels of Bard. It gives you +1 to my crit range on rapiers. Okay. And that's going to stack with the +2. Sorry, +1 multiply with rapiers. And then I get +2 to the crit range from Barbarian. That's why this build, that's how this thing works. But whatever. We're not going to talk about that now. We're just going to talk about the Barbarian. So, for Barbarian, the things that you need to know is in Friends Berserker, okay, over here, tier 2, you get something called Blood Tribute. Every time you click on this, you get 150 temporary hit points, and it costs you 1 of your constitution. Now, as a Barbarian, you should have plenty of constitution. So as long as you don't get to 0 and become helpless, you're fine. So if you're starting off and you've got like 20 constitution, well, you can click that Blood Tribute at least 10 times before you're in any kind of trouble. So you're just basically mashing Blood Tribute for self-healing. And this will heal you in Reapers just as good as anything else because it's temporary hit points. Okay? So Blood Tribute is your healing for low levels. And you can do this when you're raged or whatever. Second thing you need to know is at tier 3 you get this thing called Supreme Cleave. It's a 30% damage, and you can click it every 3 seconds. It's a tactical cleave that goes around it hits everything. So as a single weapon fighter, which his main problem is that he doesn't hit anything more than 1 target at a time. Now you have every 3 seconds on your shortcut bar, you're using this thing called Supreme Cleave, okay? So this is how you attack things with this build. So, Supreme Cleave. So that's the 2 things you need to know from here. 1, Blood Tribute. 2 is Supreme Cleave. This is how you're going to use any weapon. You can always be attacking with this. The third thing you need to know from this tree is you get an Imbued. Frenzy is an Imbued you turn on, and this gives Bane damage. So it basically damages everything. There's nobody who's like immune to this. Okay? And this is your Imbued. So as long as you've got more Imbued dice, you'll be attacking things and it bypass every damage reduction. So that is the third point. Okay, so that's this tree. Now we're going to get to the top parts of these trees soon. Now, the second thing you need to know is, another thing you need to know is all the cores, they all give you tons of healing amplification. So this one over here gives you 10 healing amplification. This one doesn't. This one gives you another 20 healing amplification. Okay, so the cores are very important. Every core you can get will give you more healing amplification, making your self-healing much, much more powerful. And this is very important because the healing abilities you're going to get from other things, you want them to like max out really very, very high because you're going to have tons of hit points. That's why over here I've got human, I've got these 20% healing amplification. Fine. So we talked about Friends Berserker. Though these are the main things you need to know for Friends Berserker. I mean, there's other things I can talk about. The sprint boost is action boost over here. This thing, cracking attack. Okay, it reduces the fortification. So if you're using this thing, you're basically guaranteeing that your critical hits will go through, which is very important for later. Okay? And there's other things who add to your weapon, turn your weapon into +2 weapon damage, which is very powerful. So cracking attack is one of the main things I'm using here, but this is more like an endgame thing and less of a low-level thing, okay? Let's go to now Ravager. Ravager, here's where you're gonna increase how much strength you're gonna have to your power attack. But the thing over here is, I like pain. The tier 2 over here makes it so when you get a hit, you get temporary hit points. 150 temporary hit points, okay? And this scales with your melee power. So more melee power means when you do a heal, you'll heal for more temporary hit points, which is very, very powerful. Okay, the other main thing from this tree, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. You can talk for an hour about it, but the other main thing is Slaughter. This is a single attack every 12 seconds that you can do that deals 100% damage. So let's say I'm using Adrenaline, which is plus, whatever it is, 250% damage, 225% damage. Okay, for the next attack, and then you use Slaughter, they multiply off each other, which is crazy powerful. Okay, so you always want to get Slaughter from this tree and use it as an attack. 100% damage is a massive swing. Okay, Occult Slayer is the one that probably most players won't use. There's a whole bunch of things over here that are kind of niche, but really they don't stack up as good as other things. There's Ear Smash, which is an attack that can do crowd control because you can actually stun enemies and there's no save against it. So this is kind of broken, but usually the reason you don't use this is because your DPS is good enough that you just kill things. So why would you crowd control something when you can just kill it? So usually you're not going to use this tree. Okay, now comes the last part. There's 3 trees, and each one of them, it's a tier 5, adds to your critical range or multiplier. So this tree, where is it? Adds +2 to the critical range. This tree adds +2 to the critical multiplier. And this tree adds 1 and 1. So 1 to the critical range and 1 to the critical multiplier. Okay? So you can have a balanced build, which will be this tree. But really, if you're going to try to do any kind of a combo build, you really want to max out the ability for it. So in this particular case, I'm going to this tree who gives me +2 to the critical range. And I'm going to get the +1 from the swashbuckling. So it's +1 to the multiplier from swashbuckling and +2 to critical range. The range on my particular weapon right now is I've got a 40% chance. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 times 4, which is pretty good. Okay, so that's like the gimmick with this build. Every 2.5 attacks is a critical range, is a critical hit, and it's times 4. So that's how this particular build is getting its like crit range. So basically, the top trees. This is again, Cult Slayer is the one you're not going to probably use. You're going to use one of these two. So this particular tree, the one I'm using right now, its main selling point is it has immunity to slippery surfaces and knockdowns, which is really cool for raids because basically the dragons can't knock you down, except for like scripted events. And this thing over here, Blood Strength, basically there's a 12% chance you heal positive energy when you kill enemies. So as you're slaughtering enemies, you start healing up. So this is another thing, but it only works once you get to level 12. And the other tree is this one. And over here, you get the +2 critical multiplier. And over here, you have an ability that allows you can either just add a +1 weapon damage when you're under rage and 5 melee power, which is very powerful. This is like really good. Or you can take the healing. While you're raging, you get 20% positive healing, amplification, and 3d6 hit points every 4 seconds. That scales with your melee power. So, yeah, these are the auto healing. So, to summarize everything up, when you're playing Friends Berserker, you can use Blood Tribute for low levels to click and just heal. You've got plenty of Constitution, don't worry about it. And then I Like Pain is going to make it so when you take damage, you just get temporary hit points. So these are the two, like how you heal at low levels from Barbarian. And once you get to level 12, so either you're going to take this tree where you do it so when you're raging, you're healing, or you're going to go to this tree so when you kill enemies, you heal. And those are basically everything you need to know about Barbarian. That's at least heroic. And then there's Epic Destinies. Epic Destinies is its own thing. I'm just very lazy, so for my Epic Destinies, I've got this. Embrace the Pain, who basically auto heals me once I drop below a certain amount of hit points. And I like using the Mantle, which is also just heals me all the time. Okay. I guess we do a raid now. You're welcome. Oh, as a barbarian, one of my main things to heal is the tier 4 over here. Okay. This rage over here makes it so when I rage, I get the heal effect. And this works off Primal Scream and my regular rage. And the gimmick that I'm taking advantage of is because I'm Bard, I spent a few points over here. This rage over here doesn't stack with regular rage, but it's considered a rage when it comes to healing. So I've got another button I can click that will auto heal me. So as long as I've got enough Bard songs, I can keep on clicking this thing and fully heal myself. Yeah. So, Master Artificer or Lord of Blades, which one would you guys like to see? It's going to be heroic, so. Anyone got any preference? Master Artificer or Lord of Blades? Lord of Blades. Okay, Lord of Blades it is. Heroic Elite. Yeah, I've got a Bard song. We got +1 to enhancements. I've got this.
Fine coat of dust covers the mangled Cannith
Yes, I'm in Lord of Blades already.
that once guarded this area. A war party
Okay.
springs forward. The lead paladin roars, "You cannot defeat us, for we are no longer war-forged. We've touched the light of the forge. We are blade-forged."
Okay, moving on. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut the stream after this, so unless somebody else redeems or a raid or something like that. Not feeling that good, I need a break. A rapier has a legendary affirmation. So basically I get temporary hit points when I attack. So if you're wondering why I have more than 1,000, 1,000 is from Legendary Affirmation, the other is from I Like Pain and stuff like that.
Cannith researchers must have installed this levitator to better access the lower ruins. Judging from its wear, that was decades ago. It's difficult to tell how old the ruins themselves are.
Yeah, I Like Pain just went off. And that gives me the temporary hit points.
You've arrived at the base of the forge. It brims with power, with the very forces of life itself.
Which one is the fastest overall?
What kind of civilization could have built such a device?
Well, 2-weapon fighting kind of can, if you just want for proc rate for like, and it's something to go off, I think 2-weapon fighting will always be better. And then after that will be single weapon fighting, and then Rogue. Rogue is not that great, except for the fact that it has strike through, so you're going that fast but hitting multiple targets. So I think that's basically the order. If you're just going for pure proc rate, yeah, I think two weapon fighting is the best.
The Lord of Blades turns his hateful gaze to you.
But it's not all about proc rate, because there's like a whole bunch of other things who balance it out. There's a whole bunch of things who add to the damage on my main weapon, so there's other ways of balancing out. But if you're just talking about proc rate, like if you have lightning strike going off and you want it to go off the most amount of times, so yeah, I think that's your answer. Okay, let's rage up.
Beginning with this corrupt city. Beginning with you.
Yeah, no problem. This chain thing is so annoying.
Voices. No. Stay out of my mind. My will is my own. Howls the Lord of Blades as he clutches his head. Repeated exposure to the forge seems to have side effects.
As a melee player, this is the hard part about Lord of Blades. Trying to get the tops of the pillars. Everything else is fine. If you take the buff in the middle, so the Lord of Blades buff, while you're on the buff, it makes you float, and that will allow you to float above the death water. There's a cooldown timer on taking the buff. You can see in the top corner over here. If I take it while this thing is here, Life Forge overcharge, it will make me freeze in place, and I'll take a whole bunch of damage and die. But you can use your Harper print to get out of it. I do believe that Legendary Rally works like Harper. Yeah. Warlock is kind of the gateway drug version of a caster.
So many voices.
People start playing Warlock and then can't stop.
Mere shell. I am no one's servant. Growls the Lord of Blades as he struggles with something only he can see.
Raining Blades is way more scary on the Legendary. On the Heroic, it's not a big deal.
In a voice clearly not his own, the Lord of Blades intones, "Finally, I am in full control of this body. Minions, delay the mortals while I restore the Forge's intended purpose."
Yeah, you'll see once the Forge goes back online, I'll be able to pick up the buff again and destroy the rest of the pillars.
alterations you corporeal creatures.
Okay, so now the forge buff is back.
To undo. For this, you shall have to be punished.
If I step into it, I'll be able to float on water again.
Blade falls, but then the cracks in his armor vanish as a blue glow surrounds him. The Warforged god regains his feet and resumes his attacks. A planar gateway rips open in the middle of the platform, and creatures of nightmare burst through. The Lord of Blades greets the new arrivals.
You got a 500,000 hit points, not bad.
Bodies are much more powerful than the automaton shells we used so long ago. With access to such an abundant supply of them, this time we shall complete our conquest of the material plane. You toppled the Lord of Blades to his knees yet again.
Here, I can pick up this. Now that I've picked up the buff, I can float.
He seems unstoppable.
I should be able to float at least. Yeah. Sometimes when you walk off the platform, it can like dip you into the water. So you need to jump to like land on top of the surface. Whatever. Got 8 pillars to break this time. Don't think I'll be able to break it all fast enough. Yeah. Definitely not with the debuff that holds me down. Let's get back to the platform before I get stuck. Yeah, if you get chained and you get stuck underwater, you get into trouble. I probably could take the buff now. And use a legendary rally to get out of it, but I don't want to take a risk. Nah, I could have healed through it. Chained again. Yeah, we should finish this now.
For a third time, your hurricane of blows and spells brings the Warforged deity to the ground. And for a third time, he rises again, glowing.
For any aspiring soloists, there's a bug who makes it so when you get most of the pillars, the thing just breaks. So if you like leave just one pillar, you'll end up breaking the pillar before you finish beating him down. So if you're leaving like one pillar left and hoping that, okay, I'll leave just the last pillar and I'll beat him down 3 times and then go for it, you're gonna find out that before you complete beating down the last pillars, they'll just break. I've got 2 more tops to break other than this one. Come on. You see, 2 of them broke at the same time. So yeah.
Wail of anguish, and the nightmare creatures disappear as well. The Forge's influence on the Lord of Blades appears undone as well. He bellows rage and wrath. No one shackles my will! Not Kenneth, and not these creatures of nightmare! No one!
There you go.
The furious war-forged god looks about and takes stock of the events wrought by the Forge, then exhales in disgust. Bah! A curse upon this place! I see it now. It was nothing but a trap to enslave us to yet another master. I take my leave of this wretched Forge.
By the way, you might not notice it, but this is a copy-paste of the Abbott raid, this room. But then they just changed the skin, they changed the color, they changed the watercolor. But like, the underlying room is the same thing. It's a room with water that damages you. Alchemical Warhammer. Great. Guess let's see how much time I can swim in the water. Yeah, sure. If you want to check out the way I wrote up the build with the feats and everything underneath my solo run of Legendary Shroud, yeah. Pretty straightforward. Can make this particular build. Let's check out the water. Yeah, this place used to be much deeper. They fixed that. This raid, once there used to be an entire extra section over here that they closed off. Over here used to be another entire other section, but it's gone. Yeah. It was the old alchemical crafting system. I actually used it this last week. And it still stinks. Even after they made it less complicated. Oh well. Anyway, the most important part of every raid is, as always, don't forget to turn in your raid. You do, it'll cost you money. And that's it. Well, thank everybody for joining. As always, thank you very much for being a guest on my live stream, Ask Aldbar DDO Live. And yeah, I hope to see you all in my next stream. So, take care. Bye. Welcome, you're welcome. Yeah, take care. Just in case anybody hasn't realized yet, the stream's not over. I'm still in the background while the outro is playing. So I know I say goodbye, but not everybody has enough not fast enough on the keyboard to say something, so I'm still here for a few seconds. Just in case somebody missed it, everything over here except for the first clip was recorded and played back in reverse. That's how these magic tricks are done.